I said we are.
I'd like to bring to order the Monday, September 10th meeting of the Tiverton Town Council. Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Mrs. Mello?
Council Perry,
Present.
Council Shabbat. Present. Council Ryan. Present. Councilor DiMederos.
Present.
Councilor Edwards.
Present.
Councilor LeBeau.
Yep.
Councilor Hilton is absent.
At this time, I'd like to call the fire chief up with the presentation of the Fire Department Hot Saver Hero Awards.
Thank you very much, Madam President. Members of the council tonight, I'm very honored to be standing in front of you. We do have with us some of the people who these awards directly affect. They are citizens of the town of Tiverton. If I may start, Hot Saver Award is given also by the Heart Association, where they also will be receiving this evening department commendations. When I say I believe our fire department and our rescue is second to none, I absolutely believe that. We have one of the greatest departments, particularly when they're on EMS. In the past, I've come before the council and we've talked about cardiac arrest save. Pre-hospital cardiac arrest is when a sudden stoppage of the heart occurs outside of the hospital setting. It's usually followed by a chain of survival, which the Heart Association talks about, which is citizen bystander CPR, followed up by either BLS level care or advanced cardiac or paramedic, in our case, paramedic level care, and then that person is transferred to a hospital. This town in itself, going just for this year alone, we've had at least 4 cardiac arrest saves, people who have been deceased on the side of the road, and the members you see in the back of the room have used their skills, their training, and their knowledge to sustain a life. When we say sustain a life, to the point that they have walked out of the hospital and are still present with us now. So I have 3 that I'd like to give. There is still one that we're still waiting on. But at this time, let me give you a little scenario. This one happened back in January of this year. Engine 2 and Rescue 3 responded to an address in town. For medical reasons, I can't give out the names and any of the identifying information. To report of a female with difficulty breathing. Upon arrival of Rescue 2, the female was found outside, supine, in other words, face down, on the front steps, unresponsive. Patient displays agonal respirations, followed by respiratory arrest and cardiac arrest. Chest compressions initiated approximately 1 minute with CPR. Patient placed on a stretcher, taken to the rescue. CPR continued, ventilated. The bag valve mask was used, an oral airway placed. An auto pulse is a machine that we have that compresses their chest for them. And it goes on, but basically they converted this person to a sustaining rhythm, and this person is alive and still with us today because of that, a citizen of the town of Tiverton. For that end, I would like to ask that come up would be Captain Craig Comito, Lieutenant Peter Manchester, Christopher Wells, and Barry Morse, who were on that particular call at that time.
Oh, okay.
Some of the members that are here tonight will be coming up several times. They've been on multiple calls where they have had cardiac save. I'm sorry?
I won't hug them several times.
Oh, that's okay. That's all right. The next is, and we do have this individual here this evening, and with their permission, we can give a little bit more information. This one just recently happened in the end of July. It was actually quite dramatic for everyone involved, the family, and this one truly shows the chain of survival where bystander CPR. There were a lot of medical professionals, off-duty nurses and such that were there, and the family members who knew CPR, and absolutely, without question, made the difference in this life. And hopefully this young gentleman will come up and be part of this with us. The call was for a child not breathing at the bottom of a pool. There was a family party occurring. They had helped to bring the child to the side of the pool. Bystander CPR was started. And upon arrival of the rescue, they had a sustaining rhythm. They had a conscious and alert crying child. And I get a little emotional about it, but again, this is what my guys do on a regular basis. They do this without thinking about it. Their training and everything makes a difference to have this young gentleman that you see behind us, who was, for all intents and purposes, deceased. The family, the friends, everyone that was here, this is a whole community that made a difference for this child and his life and how he is going to be a sustaining member of our community as we go forward. We have some Heart Saver Awards for the family members that were here. Dave, do you have those? Do
Do you want to
You
speak
want-
afterwards?
you want to speak after and do that?
Yeah, why don't
Okay,
we do
all right.
and then we'll-
So for the fire department, again, Captain Bruce Reimels. Captain's down here tonight. Lieutenant William Pinicia, who is also a registered nurse and an ER nurse. Firefighter Anthony Moretti. Firefighter Donald Clark. Patrick Gorman, who could not be here this evening. And firefighter Jason Sargent. Jason is one of our new firefighters that has just joined us. Josh, left hand.
He can give him.
And lastly, the most recent cardiac arrest that we had just happened a couple of weeks ago. I'll let everybody get that. That's,
He's taking
It's a
his
moment,
time
yeah.
over there. Yeah.
and recently, our most recent one occurred on the 21st of August, where rescue responded on a call. Engine and rescue, the engine and other companies had gotten called away to a fire at the same time. Rescue 1 arrived on scene. They started treating a patient, and during that treatment, the patient went into cardiac arrest. They removed the patient from the home, brought him to the truck, and with the teamwork that they involved, they brought that person back around and had a sustainable rhythm. That person, last I knew, was still doing very well at Rhode Island Hospital and somewhat out of critical care at this point in time. So, again, I'm so proud of these men and what they do that I want to share that with all of you. So, Captain Bruce Reimels? Nope, okay. Lieutenant Robert Gagnon. Firefighter Daniel Murphy. Firefighter Anthony Moretti. I don't think TJ's here. Firefighter Patrick Gorman. Firefighter Michael Latiso. And Firefighter Jason Sargent. Again, Madam President, thank you very much for allowing us to do this. I think it's a reflection of the service that the community receives. And how do you repay for a life? Here's what we do on a regular basis. I know that Mr. Cabral would like to say something if possible.
Well, I think I'm going to have David give
David say?
his
Okay.
hot savers, and then Manny will
Oh,
speak.
I'm sorry. You're right.
Oh, it's okay. I got it.
That's all right. We twisted everything up for you. So for those of you, I guess for the record, David Paul, I'm one of the two Heart Safe Tiverton coordinators. The chief had covered his guys fairly well, but part of Heart Safe community is also recognizing those in the community that get involved in an event like this. And as the chief explained earlier with little James, we do have Heart Saver Hero Awards for his family, for those family members that were his rescuers that day. Because without a doubt, without that bystander CPR, there's a really good chance he wouldn't have been with us today. So, James is with me. So I do have the Heart Saver Hero Awards for James's family to hand out. One thing I did want to point out as well is that some of these awards are for the chain of survival itself. Recognition of a cardiac arrest, or recognition in this case of that drowning event, the action that's taken to remove that child from the pool, the initial rescue breaths, the CPR itself. So all of that plays a part in the chain of survival. So, all right, where are you, little guy? So as I call you up, if you just want to come up, receive your Heart Saver Hero Award and a little gift from James on behalf of the fire department. Kristen Rosebrock. Is Kristen here today? Lucas Anselmo. This one here, I believe, is a little close to him. Justin Castano. We have John Castano as well. These last four here, from what I understand, from what I'm told from the family, as much as they can remember, as you can imagine, everything was a flash. These were the four as far as the hands-on goes with the resuscitation efforts. Rose Lavier. Karen, is it Correa or Correa? Correa. Thank you. Jamie DeMello. And last but not least, Sarah Castano. Perfect. And as I mentioned before, it's the definition of heart-safe community. Heart-safe was obtained late 2016. We've held several CPR classes sponsored by various in the town. One of the things I did want to point out as well with this particular event, it came to our attention, obviously there's a rescue report on file, but the family wanted to make a positive out of this. And one of the things that they asked for was a community CPR class. So the beginning of August, we held a CPR class, again, sponsored by Tiverton Fire Department and Heart Safe Community. There were 40 people in attendance at that class, which puts 40 additional bystander rescuers out there in the community. So they did a great job with that. So, all right.
Danny?
Okay, just in closing, it was a traumatic event, as you well know. I just wanted to thank the Tiverton Fire Department and the Tiverton Police Department for their fantastic response and the professional response through this whole deal. And without the everyday efforts of the fire department and the police department, you wouldn't have these kind of ceremonies. So I just wanted to thank both departments.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I'm just going to take a 5-minute recess right now while people talk.
Pictures.
Whatever, pictures, whatever they want to do.